plucking off this street, and I'm tired of it. Y'all hear me? I'm tired of it.
An older woman named Mattie shows up from Tennessee to Brewster Place. She meets Ben, the handyman, and he offers to check on her apartment, but she says no. She walks upstairs to a busted, rundown unit. We flash back to young Mattie being courted by a pretty boy named Butch, light-skinned, full of charm, and a straight-up warning label. He tells her he dips when things get too real, fights, arguments, all that. Basically the definition of not here for a long time, just a good time. She falls for it. He didn't even lie. She just didn't listen. This is what happens when you shelter your kids too much. They get finessed by smooth-talking losers. Flash forward, Mattie's pregnant. Surprise, surprise. Her parents are pissed. Her daddy gives her the silent treatment. She confesses to her mom she feels ashamed, but her mom keeps it real and says having a baby ain't shameful. It's natural. Her dad goes off, says he did his best, that people have been saying he sheltered her too much. He tries to marry her off to a guy he assumes is the baby daddy, but she says nope, he isn't the father. She refuses to say who it is, and then her father beats her. Her mom tries to fight him off, and when he won't stop, she gets a shotgun and threatens to kill him if he lays another hand on her. Honestly, Mother of the Year. That woman deserves 5 stars and a monument. Mattie hops a bus and ends up in a boarding house. She gives birth and reunites with her sister Etta, who's a rolling stone in her own right. Says she's headed to Harlem and tells Mattie to come too, maybe find her a rich baby daddy. But Mattie ain't with it. Says she's staying. She's working as a stylist. One night, a rat drinks the baby's milk and bites him. Absolutely foul. She panics and starts running around the city looking for a place to stay, but everywhere she goes says no kids. Ma'am, did you really leave the house without a backup plan? That was dumb. An older woman stops her, says she should have just plugged the rat hole and stayed put. Her name's Eva Turner, Miss Eva. She lets Mattie stay rent-free for now and says she'll figure out what she wants in return later. Her granddaughter, Lucilia, is living with her since her own son dipped out to Tennessee like a punk. Time jump, kids are older, about 5. Eva tells Mattie it ain't normal to not want to date or see men. Mattie says she's not interested. They argue. Eva says Basil, Mattie's son, shouldn't still be sleeping in a bed with her. Is it him that's scared of the dark? Or her? Then Eva dies. Just dead in the house one day. Lucilia's deadbeat parents finally show up 6 years late to get her. Mattie stays in the house with Basil and agrees to pay the mortgage. Thankfully, she's been saving since Eva never charged rent. Years later, Basil's grown, probably 16 to 18, running the streets, begging for money, being just like his trifling ass daddy. Then he calls her from jail, says he got beat up and arrested for killing someone, complains he's the victim, no accountability. She tells him she got a lawyer and there's a hearing. This man-child says the dead man is better off than him. She reminds him that he also broke a cop's wrist. He hits her with a so what and accuses her of siding with the police. Sir. Next day, judge sets bail at $25K. She pays it. And guess what? The idiot skips town. Took the bail money and her car. Just poof, gone. Fast forward again. The house is empty. She's leaving it behind. Basil really drained her dry. Back to the present day. Grown-up Lucilia pops up. Happy to see Mattie again. Lucilia decorates the apartment. There's some noise in the hallway and we meet another resident. Apshu and Kiswana, a young couple. Then Etta shows up looking glamorous as ever. Says she stole some man's car and dares him to report it since the sheriff is his wife's daddy. She's chaos, but she makes it out clean every time. Later, Mattie, Lucilia, and Etta are walking home, and Lucilia is defending him, saying he's a good man. We've heard this before. Meanwhile, Kiswana's on the phone with her bougie parents. Later, they're people watching, spotting drug deals from their stoop. Kiswana wants to start a tenant association. That night, Mattie finds out Lucilia is pregnant again. She thinks it's good for a child to have a sibling. Mattie asks if the baby daddy is packing his bags already. Lucilia brushes her off. At Lucilia's house, the man's mad for no reason, yelling about needing peace and blaming her for his problems. Says all she brings is babies and bills. A walking red flag. Mattie babysits Lucilia's daughter. Lucilia comes back early and says she's had an abortion. Honestly, good call. Her man was trash. No notes. Next day, Kiswana's mom shows up. The mom is polite, but asks why she's living like this. Kiswana's on that "these are my people" wave. Says her mom forgot where she came from. Her mom calmly reads her for filth, traces their ancestry, their real roots, and leaves some money behind. Honestly, scene of the year. On the stoop, Etta and Sophie gossip about two new tenants, two women who are probably gay. Back at Lucilia's, the baby daddy shows up again. Mattie offers to take the kid out so they can talk. He refuses, then accuses Lucilia of being too close to Mattie, says pack my bags, saying he got a job out of town. But just then the daughter sticks scissors in a socket chasing a roach and electrocutes herself. The kid dies and her husband dips. So, husband's gone, abortion has already happened, Lucilia is in full breakdown mode. She stops eating, has a fever, and basically checks out mentally. Etta tries to help, but Mattie steps in, bathes her, hugs her, forces her to feel something again, says you still got you. One of the few real moments of healing in this whole story. It's Saturday. The mom of six gets the kids ready to see the Shakespeare play. Mattie checks on Lucilia. She's gone, packed up and left. At church, Etta spots a traveling preacher. Says she wants to be a preacher's wife. Mattie isn't impressed. That night, Etta sleeps with the preacher and he calls her a worldly woman before dropping her off like she's an Uber date. Etta's face says it all. Mattie was right. Again, people are gossiping hard about the two gay women, Lorraine and T. Lorraine says she got fired from teaching in Detroit for being gay. They're already moved twice because of judgmental neighbors. At a tenant meeting, Sophie claims she saw them naked, outs them in front of everybody, just hateful. They kick Sophie out for being disruptive. Lorraine tells her backstory. She says she was kicked out at the age of 17 for being gay, had to live with her cousin, work in a bakery, and put herself through college. She tried to stay in touch with her parents, but they ignored her. Again, parents love abandoning their kids for not being exactly who they wanted. Block party happens, everyone's having fun. Swana invites Lorraine. CC and his goons show up again and harass her. Later, Lorraine decides to go to the club. T doesn't want to anymore. She changes her mind at the bus stop, but too late. CC assaults her in the alley. Ben finds her. She's traumatized. She thinks he's CC and bashes his skull in. Mattie finds them in the alley, calls for help. Lorraine is taken away. T shows up, devastated and confused. Mattie, furious and fed up, starts smashing the wall that separates Brewster Place from the white neighborhood. The other women join her. Cops are called. They say they're all gonna be arrested. End of story. That was long as hell, but worth it. And here are my final thoughts. Hey guys, I'm back again with another voiceover final thoughts because I'm still recovering from my illness. But I will say I really enjoy Women of Brewster Place. This is probably my 4th or 5th time watching this and I love it every single time. But let's start with Mattie when she was younger. You know, I honestly blame her parents for sheltering her and not teaching her the games of men. And honestly, I will say my own parents failed me in that manner too. And a lot of people's parents failed them in that manner, to teaching them about the opposite sex. But I can't even say that Butch was a bad guy because he told her like straight up, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and she still let him hit. So honestly, even if her parents had told her about the game, she still allowed that to happen. And then for her to get pregnant after the first time kind of really sucked. Her daddy beating her up because he didn't know who the father was, because they all knew that he was going to go and try to kill the father of the child. So in order to keep him out of jail, they were trying to keep it from him. But like for him to take it out on her was ridiculous. And I'm so proud of her mother for taking up for her, because a lot of times that does not happen. But she was Mother of the Year for real. Like she pulled that shotgun out and said, I'm going to get his ass if he hit my daughter one more time. So kudos to her. As far as Basil is concerned, he's an ain't shit ass nigga. Sorry guys, but he is. He was coddled by his mom. She was doing the best she could and probably raised him the best she could, but it seemed like she very much gentle parented him, and you see what ended up happening. He ended up killing somebody and assaulting a police officer, but then wanted to play victim to him. And like the way he treated her during that whole portion of the movie was ridiculous. And she spent like $20,000 to get him out of jail, and he bailed on her and took her car. Like that's really fucked up. And it be your own kids sometimes, and I can't just say it's just men doing it. Girls will do it too, women will do it too. So I don't know what the answer is other than don't have kids, because they'll break your heart as fast as a nigga will or a bitch will. Okay, we'll talk about Etta and her Rolling Stone ways. You know, honestly, considering, you know, she was rolling between different guys throughout the
movie and going and jumping from place to place, she seemed to be the happiest because she was the only one that didn't have kids, and she could just pick up and leave and start over if she wanted to. Now, I do feel sorry for her when she slept with that preacher at the end of the movie, and she thought that she was going to be a preacher's wife, but he just saw her as a hoe. And honestly, that probably happens a lot more than we want to say it happens. People try to portray preachers and the clergy, or whatever you want to call it, these religious men, as being above everyone else, blah blah blah, but they're men, and I think it's best to just keep protecting yourself, no matter what status that a person had. Lucilia, like, her life just sucked there, you know. I felt sorry for her the most, but I'm glad that she was able to like pick herself up after a little help from Mattie, and, you know, find happiness, even though she found happiness with another man, which was ridiculous. I just kind of wish that she would have found happiness by herself instead of running into somebody else's arms, but you know, it is what it is. There was a whole lot of side quests in this movie slash TV series that weren't mentioned in the recap, but I will mention that the side quest with Kashwana and Cicely Tyson's character, where Cicely Tyson read her for filth about her real ancestry, because Kashwana was all on, these are my people, these are my black people, blah blah blah, I want to suffer with everybody else. And her mom was like, why are you suffering? The reason why me and your dad and all your ancestors worked so hard is so you didn't have to suffer, and so you didn't have to hustle and do everything we had to do. And I don't think she quite understood that. And her mom told her, like, you're not just black, baby, you have a Native American ancestry too, so you only want to embrace one portion of your history, but your history is multicultural and full of very strong independent people, even if they're not black. So I think she needed that read for filth, and I thought that was like the best little monologue I've seen in a long time. And damn, overall, I really like this show. I really like this series, this movie, whatever we're gonna call it. I would watch it again and again. Obviously, if this is my 4th or 5th time watching it, I never get bored watching it. It's just super long with all these side quests and shit, and you just don't know when it's gonna end. But yeah, 10 out of 10. I recommend you watch it. But that's it for this recap and review. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with another one, and hopefully I'll be on camera on that one. But anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.